Warning: Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
In this crooked game of power politics here in America, the Negro, namely the race problem, integration, civil rights issue, are all nothing but tools used by the whites who call themselves liberals against another group of whites who call themselves conservatives, either to get into power or to retain power. Among whites here in America, the political teams are no longer divided into Democrats and Republicans. The whites who are now struggling for control of the American political throne are divided into liberal and conservative camps. The white liberals from both parties cross party lines to work together toward the same goal, and white conservatives from both parties do likewise. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives.
What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you hit that like and share button, as well as you watching this on the replay, the hype button, so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click the link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations, as well as the other link. Join the Telegram group to help circumvent all the shadow banning that PukeTube has been doing with the new black media. With that being said, family, welcome back to another Sunday service. We got to get into it because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of people out here, trying to get in office, and we got to talk about this. This being an election season, you're seeing, like we always do, a lot more amped up rhetoric. You're seeing a lot more people getting out here into these streets. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to one of the events that was happening out here in Houston that I really wanted to get to because Jasmine Crockpot was there. And, I had some things to say to her. However, I wasn't able to make it. But she did come out to Houston, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Stephen A. Smith and, him trying to position himself to run for the president seat. It's very interesting. We're going to talk about a few other Democrats because at the end of the day, we're not seeing anybody getting it through their heads at all that you cannot move us by trying to convince us to vote against anything or anybody. The only way that you're going to be able to move foundational Black Americans more specifically is by giving us what's owed to us, giving us the policy that we need, by giving us all of the things that damn well you should have gave us a while ago. So we could talk about reparations. We could talk about a transformative Black agenda. We could talk about everything that we ask for and that we're demanding. But if we're not talking about that, then you're talking about nothing and you're not offering anything. No matter how you try to make it sound, no matter what you say in your little speeches at these events, there's no substance in anything these people are saying. And the sad thing about all of this, the very sad thing about all of this is, if you're listening to those folks who are out here running as Democrats, and you listen to Stephen A. Smith, Stephen A. Smith ain't saying nothing either. But I gotta admit, he still sounds better than them folks. Now that's a hard thing to sell right there. But the fact of the matter is, that's how cooked the Democratic Party is. Because they refuse to operate within the realms of reality, and they want everybody else to operate outside those realms as well. So we have to talk about this. I voted, shout out to myself, for the couch. And I mean, I physically went in and wrote couch 2026. And then I also wrote reparations on there. So yeah, you see where I'm at. You see where I'm at with it, right? Let's get into it. Before we do, let me go ahead and scroll up. Let me give a B1 salute and a shalom to our good brother Reparations Nation. Our sister Hurricane Nisi in the building. Much love to you, my sister Queen. Much love to the both of you. Our sister Sybil is in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, as well as Andrea Jones in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here as well. Our sister Aquarius Minded is in the building. Much love to you, my sister Queen. Thank you for being here as always. Rael is in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here. Our sister Bad 72 is in the building. Much love to you. Much love to you, my sister Queen. Thank you for being here. Our brother Black RU is in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here. Our brother Melvin C is in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here. Cashapp Kiera Clark is in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here, my sister Queen. I love the new name. Shout out to our brother Jesse Paris in the building. Shalom to you, my good brother. Thank you for being here, as well as our good brother RBJ in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here, as well as our sister Priscilla Taylor in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here, my sister. Thank you for being here. I want to make sure we got our sister Andrea Jones in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here, as well as our good brother Snatch Adams in the building, and our brother Mr. A.O. in the building. Much love to the both of you. Thank you for being here. Our brother Antithesis is in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here, my good brother. And also thank you for your Cash App donation. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always, my good brother. And also thank you for your super chat. Your donation is blessed tenfold once again, and I appreciate your contribution as always, my good brother, out here supporting, and I appreciate you as always, family. Much love to you. Tying Ram in the building. Much love to you, my good brother. Thank you for being here. Want to make sure our sister Tasting Teas with Tony is in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here, my sister Queen. Christian Wright is in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here. Umbutu is in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here, family. Much love to you. Our sister Rosemary is in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here, family. Oh, that Umbutu. Our sister Renaissance Woman is in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here, as well as Alita in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here. Our sister Shelly is in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here. As well as Fella Speaks in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here. Much love to all of you, as well as all those who are not in the chat and all those who will catch this on the replay. Much love to you, and thank you for being here. And a B1 salute to our good family of Law Solution in the building as well. Much love to you, and shout out to the Shy up in the town. Much love to you, and thank you for being here. Now, family, let's start off with Stephen A. Smith, because if you've been watching, of course, Stephen, he's been the way he's been speaking, you can kind of gauge where he was going and what he was trying to do before he even did that interview that he did. And I want to show you some of those things. Shout out to our sister, Mrs. C. Phillip Davis in the building. Much love to you and thank you for being here. So let's start out here. I'm going to show you a couple of things here. And you let me know on whether or not he's trying to, like I said, he's trying to indict the Democrats while trying to stay center of what he's saying, right? He's not trying to stray too far over to the right. He's not trying to stray too far over to the left, but he is calling out the left so that the right can see and all the Magites can see this man and say, oh, he's a very intelligent black man. I might want to vote for him. Knowing damn well in their heart of hearts, they never want to vote for a black man. But let's go here.
The president of the United States is going to give his State of the Union address, and the Democrats got other plans.
I'm going to slow this down just a bit, family.
So some are talking about walking out in the middle of his speech. Others are talking about boycotting it altogether and essentially finding something else to do. I'm here to tell you that neither is acceptable. Neither should be acceptable. At some point in time, ladies and gentlemen, there's got to be an adult in the room. If you're going to act as juvenile, as petulant, as petty, as you accuse the president of the United States to be, how are you ever going to hold a high moral ground, at least high enough to judge him accordingly? If people on the right can turn and look at you and say, you're no better, you act no better, where's it going to get you? See, these are the kind of things that end up getting people like myself and others in the news because we're talking about getting things done. I've said repeatedly, and I'll state it again, and I'll make news by saying it again. I have no desire to be an elected official.
Family, when someone says, I have no desire to be an elected official, unprompted, they have a desire to be an elected official. But one thing I will agree with him on, and this is a long shot, I know, but I got to say it. I got to say this. I do agree that at some point there has to be adults in the room. There has to be. Otherwise you have a bunch of whiny ass children who are supposed to be representatives who don't want to do anything in order to further their constituents when they have an imposing force in the White House. All we've been seeing from the Democrats is them whining about how the illegals are being treated, whining about ICE, whining about Ukraine, whining about Mexico, whining about Canada, just whining. There is nobody in there who is trying to do the job for the people. You're supposed to be able to politic when you are working within Congress. You should be able to work with both sides of the aisle if possible in order to push things forward for your community. That's what a representative is. But all I've seen since Donald Trump took office in January of 2025 is a bunch of people who comes out and do a bunch of grandstanding, whining, and complaining. That's it. There is nobody in there working for foundational Black Americans at all. But at this point in time, we're also seeing there is nobody in there working for the American people at all either. And I'm speaking specifically for the Democrats. I'm not talking about the Republicans. We'll be having a whole freaking broadcast on the Republicans on Wednesday. I'm going to dedicate the whole broadcast to him. But today we're talking about the Democrats, the people who are supposed to be the party of the working class. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Stephen A. Smith is a sports commentator. When he's making sense rather than everybody else in the party, then that's saying something, and it's not good. It's not good at all. Let's let him continue. But first, hold on. Let me go ahead and give a B1 salute to our good brother, Yuta Homecoming in the building. Much love to you, as well as our brother, Breeze Omega in the building. My good brothers, thank y'all for being here. Thank you both for being here. Let me see here. Your channel won't let my lady watch the current live stream. Sorry for interrupting. Jesse, try having her update her app. Maybe it's her app that's not allowing, because I don't have any restrictions on my account for anybody, so she should be able to log in. Let's continue.
I've never entertained politics in my life. I'm certainly not an aficionado on the issues. Got a long way to go to learn all the things that go on. But you know what I have? I have common sense. I have decency. I have respect for the office, even when or if I didn't respect the individual. Because I would understand it as a representative, whether it be that as a representative or a senator in the United States of America. Guess what? I have a constituency to answer to.
And once again, I got to agree with them. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be accountable to your constituents. You're supposed to be held accountable by your constituents. So what he's basically speaking about is the same thing that Nelly said when everybody got on his head about going to the White House and or performing for the White House or whatever the situation may have you, where he says it doesn't really matter who's in office. I have respect for the office of the president. He said that, you know, his family were all was in the military, so you know that's where he gets his respect from. And I can understand that. But for myself personally, my respect is for the American people. And my respect is for foundational Black Americans more specifically. So when I look at those seats and they're being used to basically just complain all damn day, we're losing on that side. Well, really not us. They're losing. They're losing the population. They're losing their constituents. More and more people are coming to the new Black media because they're knowing what we're saying is correct. They can resonate with the message. These people don't understand. Well, they probably do, but they just don't care how many people that they're pushing away by being this damn pathetic. Yeah, exactly, my sister. It's pathetic at this point. That's all this is. So I gotta admit, like I said, when the tether is sounding more sound than the goddamn people who's in office that's supposed to be sound, there's a problem there. And I might not like the president. I might not like a certain senator. I might not like a certain representative, but out of the respect for my constituents, out of the respect for foundational Black Americans, I will bite my tongue to work with whoever is willing to work with me to pass agendas that will benefit my community. That's what you're supposed to do. And people are acting as if you decide to cut a deal with somebody on the other side of the aisle, you're now a traitor of your people. If you speak up about the wrongs that the Democratic Party has been doing in order for your constituents to understand, hey, I see what's going on and I'm with you. I do get it. You know, we went kind of far, then you're a traitor to the party in which you're supposed to be protecting. You see, what we're being told is basically anybody who speaks out against the party should be shamed. And that's why they're losing things. They're losing people. They're losing voters. They're losing debates, events. They're losing things because of this. Now, like I said, I hate to have to agree with Stephen, but he's telling you the truth when it comes to what you're supposed to do as an actual representative. But then again, we all know Stephen A. Smith and how he does things for his own benefit. So, of course, hearing this out of his mouth, when I first heard this, I was like, yeah, this man think he's slick. He's trying to run for something. He's going to try to run for Senate. He's going to try to run for president. He's going to run for something. Because he wants the American people to know that he knows what the job entails. Shout out to our brother John's son in the building. Much love to you. And thank you for being here. Let's let him continue.
And I have people who need me, who I represent. And whether I like it or not, this individual is in office until 2028. And I got to find a way to do business with him in order to get something done. You see, when you go to the American people and you ask the American people, yo, stand up, step up and handle your business. Stop bitching and screaming all the time. When you got problems at the job, when you got bills to pay, when you got a family to take care of, find a way to work around it and handle your business. How come that can't apply to elected officials? Why do they get to get away with that? Why do they get to circumvent those rules and regulations? Why do they get to circumvent the need and the insistence of mere decorum? This is the kind of stuff that ticks me off.
All right. So that was the first clip, family. Let's go here. Let's go here. Like I said, he's been amping up for a while now. So when he made his little interview appearance there, I wasn't too surprised. Let's go here.
It makes Trump look right. Because that hatred for him that led people to compromise their own professional principles just to ensure that he didn't win the presidency? Well, if you were willing to do that, then all of a sudden, does it not buffer his arguments about lawfare being exercised against him? Does it not buffer his arguments about fake news, fake news, fake news? Does it not buffer the credibility that comes to his arguments that it was a witch hunt? Does it not in some way buffer the notion that somebody might have cheated him in 2020? I don't believe that last part. He lost that damn election. And I get that. I'm talking about him genuinely feeling cheated, as opposed to knowing he's lying because, oh my God, the numbers say so. Why should he give a damn? The rest of us, yes. Why should he give a damn about the numbers? You see what hatred can do? You see what an absence of objectivity can do? You see how the corrupt actions of a few, whether it's him and a potpourri of his lies over the years, or Democrats and the lies that they were spewing leading up to the election. You see how we all got screwed? Because now the American people are sitting here not knowing what to believe or who to believe anymore. And then you wonder why I'm pissed.
Family, like I said, the man has been amping up for this moment for a while. So when he gets out there and start talking about what he would do as president in an interview that nobody asked for. I didn't ask for it, family. Did you ask for this damn interview? Family, please let me know if you asked for an interview like this from Stephen A. Smith, a sports commentator. Let's go.
Make no mistake about it. We wouldn't have a border crisis under my watch. Hell no. We wouldn't have this crime that exists in the streets of New York. You wouldn't hear about me saying defund the police. We ain't defunding any police. I'm calling 911 when there's a problem. I know you're calling 911 when there's a problem. I'll be damned if I'm going to have less police officers out there. There's going to be more. That's me. I would focus on a flourishing economy and making sure we did everything we could, because I believe when you have something to lose, you know how to behave. When you have something to lose, you know how to behave. If you have nothing, you have nothing to lose. And as a result, you're willing to tear down anything, even if it's America, because you feel betrayed by a country that's supposed to be looking out for you and positioning you to thrive instead of wallow in misery and suffering. So, of course, I would pay attention to the economy. I would pay attention to all of those things. Make no mistake about it. We wouldn't have a border.
Now, family, and shout out to our sister Aquarius for putting this up. If he runs, he gets and get elected, he could only do what his paymasters allow. And that's what he would only do to begin with. Remember what he said. When he wake up in the morning, his first thought in his mind is, how can he make his bosses more money? How can he make more money for Massa? How can he make more money for the Nabisco? So whoever funds this man, I guarantee you, anything they tell him to do, he will be doing with a Coke bottle smile on his face. Guarantee. But if you listen to what he's saying, notice the dog whistles that he's throwing out to the maggots. Oh, I'm not defunding the police. I'm putting more law enforcement on the streets. Now notice, the Democrats' messaging right now is defund ICE. So why didn't he say, I'm not defunding ICE? Oh no, I'm putting more ICE on the street. Because he didn't mean he was going to defund ICE. Or excuse me, he wasn't going to defund ICE. He said what he meant. He's not going to defund the police. Oh yeah, he's going to put more police on the street. Oh, those words were very deliberate, in my opinion. Very deliberate. But once again, hell, he's a tether. So I would not be surprised if that's exactly what happened. He had this all planned out to make sure he come out to say, I'm not going to defund police. I'm going to put more police on the street, which perk ups the ears, which makes the ears of the racists go up like, yeah, put more on the streets. Because, you know, Popo can go after black folk, you know. ICE ain't going after black folk. Well, at least not foundational black Americans, but you get my point. He's dog whistling to the racist. And if you don't believe that that is the case, peep out this next clip. More dog whistling.
Does you worry about racism if you ran for president? No. I know it exists. I know that you can't escape it, but I do not believe it is as prevalent. Does you worry about racism if you ran for president? No. I know. Does you worry about racism if you ran for president? No. I know it exists. Does you worry about racism if you ran for president? No. I know it exists. I know that you can't escape it, but I do not believe it is as prevalent as some on the left would like us to believe. I do believe a vast majority of Americans judge you on the content of your individual character rather than the color of your skin. I think a lot of people in America, especially in this day and age, now more so than ever before, it's not about race. It's about the fact that they don't give a damn about it because they got their own problems. That's entirely different than believing they are superior to you and they want to hold you back from ascending. That's not what's going on to the degree that it was decades ago. What's going on now is that we have more white Americans and others suffering and worried about the state of our nation. And because they're concerned about that, that's where their worries lie. Does you worry about racism if you ran?
Now, did you catch that, family? Let's go piece by piece.
For president? No. I know it exists. I know that you can't escape it, but I do not believe it is as prevalent as some on the left would like us to believe.
At a time where everything that is black is being attacked, no matter on what side, whether on the Republican side or whether on the Democrat side, everything black is still under attack. Trump is attacking history, just like Ron DeSantis, Ron the numbnuts out there in Florida, while sitting there and also holding Black History goddamn events at the White House. He's removing things that he don't like out of history, or trying to, because, you know, the Supreme Court ruled that he had to replace this mural out there in Philadelphia that he tried to take down. Like he's trying to remove these things. So that's on the right. And on the left, you have people basically trying to eliminate the contributions of foundational Black Americans to this country and make us immigrants. That's racial. You got people on the left saying that it's okay to call Black ICE agents the N-word. And you got people on the right, and shout out to Tori and Rain, that just did a story about this mother out here in Texas where her son was basically bullied and she believed it to be racial. He got off and filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against her and the child that he was bullying. So when he said it's not happening to the degree that it was 50 years ago, it's happening more. And you're trying to minimize it by saying everybody's hurting. Yeah, but they're not hurting bad enough to stop their racism, are they? They're not that damn hurt, are they? Shout out to Phyllis Speaks in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for your Cash App. Your super chat. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution. As always, FBA is a culture of resistance, and the best defines us. White supremacy sambos and tethers make us more codified. Salute, church, for what you do, King. Sunday service. Much love to you, family. Much love to you, and I appreciate you as always. As well as, let me give a B1 salute to our brother William Aaron in the building. Much love to you. 13 Mike in the building. Much love to you. Much love to you. Bernice Brass in the building. Much love to you. Much love to you. As well as our good sister Queen Black Spider in the building. Much love to you. Much love to you. And thank you all for being here. I thought that I saw. Okay, well, let's let them continue.
I do believe a vast majority of Americans judge you on the content of your individual character rather than the color of your skin. I think.
Sir, you just had Chucky Kirk get unalived for running around here spewing a bunch of anti-Black propaganda, and America on both parties decided to honor him, give him a day of remembrance. What the hell are you talking about judging people off the content of their character? They're judging people off the propaganda that they push. That who push? Well, you name it. The Nabisco, the regular Nabisco boy, the Nabisco girl, lamestream media, Politicians, everybody is pushing the anti-Black rhetoric against us. But yeah, you believe people are being judged off the content of their character. Very interesting. Shout out to Seduction Doll in the building. Much love to you, my sister. Thank you for being here. Let's continue.
A lot of people in America, especially in this day and age, now more so than ever before, it's not about race. It's about the fact that they don't give a damn about it because they got their own problems. That's entirely different than believing they are superior to you and they want to hold you back from ascending. That's not what's going on to the degree that it was decades ago. What's going on now is that we have more white Americans and others suffering and worried about the state of our nation. And
like I said, they wasn't too worried about the state of the nation when they got out there and voted racism. Now, it'd be one thing if they were just voting because, you know, they had interest, a vested interest in voting for Donald Trump because, you know, we don't want illegal immigration to get too overpopulated. No, that wasn't any of their motivations. You see, there's some people in the Black community that voted for Trump and their motivations are a lot different from the Nabiscos in MAGA that went out there to vote for Trump. And that consistently show you every time you jump on Twitter or X for, the people that call it X. Every time you turn around, it's amplifying anti-Black racism. So everything that he's saying here is nonsensical.
Because they're concerned about that. That's where their worries lie.
Like I said, they're not too concerned because they're picking racism over fixing the economy. Every goddamn thing that could have benefited Americans, these people fight against to make sure it doesn't benefit foundational Black Americans. You think they really care about the trajectory of the country? I've read on this broadcast before the study that stated if America was to pay reparations, then it would add $5 trillion within the first 5 years to its national GDP. You think those folks are out there fighting for us to get reparations at all? No, they're completely against it still. So they don't care about the trajectory of the country whatsoever. Shout out to Faith Speaks Life for your Cash App donation. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always, my good sister, as well as Phyllis Speaks. Much love to you once again for this, this super chat. Once again, family, your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always. These people care more about PETA than racism, and you ain't lying. These people care more about dogs, cats, rats, and rodents. That is their get down. You see it all the dang time. They will go crazy over a dog being harmed, but turn the other cheek, turn their whole face when you see a Black American being harmed. That always pisses me off. Hypocrites. Again, salute to the family. Much love to you, my sister, and thank you for that comment once again in your contribution. Family, let's go here because Jamela Hill has something to say about Stephen A. Smith coming out and saying what he said. Let's go here.
Listen, you guys may think I'm crazy, but if I'm the Democrats, given Stephen A.'s name recognition and his constant ability to attract audience, to speak in sound bites, to debate, because Stephen A. on a debate stage, it will get real. Again, we have a president that is loose on the facts. And I know some of you are thinking like, but he's...
Now, family, y'all let me know if it's going too quickly, I'll slow it down because, like I said, I'm just trying to make sure I don't get any copyright strikes on this or whatever. But if it's going too quickly, if she's speaking too fast, let me know and I'll slow it down a bit. Shout out to Rahaya in the building. Much love to you and thank you for being here, family. As always, it's good to see you. Let's continue.
He's not going to be able to get away with the same things that Donald Trump is. Sure, to a degree, but he will if he has a message and messaging that connects with white people. He absolutely will. So if I'm the Democrats and I see Stephen A. constantly talking about running for president, this is CBS News that is doing a big piece on him on their morning show. ABC's already done a piece on him. He's a best-selling author. He's already got media wired. The Democrats need to take him seriously. He's a threat. If you're a Democrat that wants to run for president, or if you as the party in general don't want someone like Stephen A.'s popularity or people to start paying more attention to his politics, and you don't want people to give more consideration to him running, then you nip this in the bud. You start taking him seriously.
Exactly. What she's trying to say is that he's entertaining. Shout out to John Son for that. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. And so are you, Breeze Omega, Crypt Keeper. Yeah. I digress. Shout out to our sister Cooking with Miss D. These demons would let the country burn to hell before they give us reparations. Family, you think they wouldn't? You don't think that we're forcing their hand even having this conversation? Oh yeah, they would rather not even think about reparations. They would rather not even mention reparations. If they can make reparations a bad, dirty little word, they would. They absolutely would. And if you notice, they've been trying to make reparations a bad, dirty little word. But the problem with that is that you guys have already given reparations. There's already precedent for reparations. So yeah, if they could get rid of that whole word altogether, oh, they definitely would. Shout out to our sister Cooking with Miss D in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here, my sister Queen. Let's go over here to what else Jamil had to say here. Shout out to Retro Gemini, as well as our good sister Sexy Red in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for your super sticker. Your contribution is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always, my good sister. Let's continue. Let's go here.
Note the message. That let me know for sure Stephen A. Smith is going to run for president. He really got out there on CBS and said that racism, it exists, but people aren't that concerned about it anymore. So, recipe for success to get on the presidential radar, or at least make people think about voting for you, is to have a message like that. A message that's tinged with a little bit of anti-blackness. A message that is a bad signal to the white people. Hey, I'm not one of those that is going to be on y'all about bringing up things like white privilege and white supremacy. Yeah, I know racism exists, but it doesn't matter anymore because people are more worried about how to put food on the table, which on the face of it seems like a very harmless message, but that's the point of it, is for it to be harmless.
It's not what's going on to the degree that it was decades ago. What's going on now is that we have more white Americans and others suffering and worried about the state of our nation. And because they're concerned about that, that's where their worries lie.
So Stephen A. believes that white people, the same white people who just elected or who elected Donald Trump twice, that white people don't care about racism, even though the whole reason many of them voted for Donald Trump is because of racism. And so that answer right there, let me know he's definitely running for president. And he'll run as a Democrat. Or maybe even, I almost would say an independent, but I think he'll run as a Democrat.
And I'm going to be honest with you. He's going to run as a Democrat if he runs. That's what's going to happen. He's going to run as a center Democrat. He's going to try to, he's going to go out there trying to be Barry 2.0. He's going to talk about uniting the parties, right? You know, you need somebody who can get out there and talk about the issues that's going on in America, but you also have to be able to work with the people across the aisle, he's going to say. The cold part about all of this is he has a better chance than a lot of these Democrats, and that is infuriating. That's infuriating. Well, it should be to the Democrats. Your messaging is so off-putting that you can elevate somebody like a Stephen A. Smith. And if the Nabisco Democrats are listening to him, they would have no problem giving him the nomination. Why? Because of the fact that they're trying to move back center left anyway. This is why Jasmine Crockett is having the issues that she's had and that she continues to have. She's finding out right now that she is not the pick for the Nabisco within the party. She is not the person that they really want in that Senate seat. Why? Because really, they don't look at her as a candidate that can actually win They look at her as a candidate. Once they get over, once it becomes Democrat versus Republican, the Republican is going to take it. That's how they look at her. And that's why they've been moving further and further away from Jasmine Crockpot. And since we're talking about Jasmine Crockpot, you know what we have to do.
Brain fried, scrambled like eggs in a skillet. Ooh. Thoughts running loose. Ooh. Can't even pin it. Ooh. Opinion spilling. Nonsense infinite. Logic took a vacation. She ain't in it. Ooh. Caught in the fog. Lost in the static. Ideas chaotic. Vibes erratic. Speeches gymnastics. Flips acrobatic. Words land hard, awkward, and tragic. Ooh. Dumber than a box of Crockett's. Lost keys, no pockets. Talking loud, no logic. Every thought catastrophic. Dumber than a box of Crockett's. Every move out of pocket.
Now, family, wait a second. What is going on here? Give me 1 second, family. I don't know how that happened. Okay. All right. Now, let me give a B1 salute and a shalom to our good brother Snatch Adams in the building. Much love to you for your super chat. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always, my good brother. Real talk. If they really want America to be great again, give FBAs those checks and stand out our way. We'll eat up that deficit. We'll eat that deficit up less than 5 years. And I agree with you 100-fold. I agree with you 100-fold. Go ahead and get out the way. Sign those checks, send them out to us, and get out the way. And watch how America thrive. Now, Nabiscos might not like it in the very same way that, you know, they didn't like any of our black cities and towns when we were prosperous and where we was actually doing something of financial greatness. Oh, they're going to hate it. Hate it. But the country will be right. You know, I was reading the other day, and I go back periodically and read up on Black Wall Street just to give myself a thorough reminder of why we fight so damn hard. And one of the things that I read was that Black Wall Street was more successful than White Wall Street. Everything was out of jealousy there. And for the most part, whenever we're doing well for ourselves and we're just amongst ourselves doing it, people become envious of that success, of that wealth, of that ability to just go off somewhere and create something that these folks could never do. So yeah, go ahead. If you want to make America great, I would say it great, not great again, because you got to tell me a time where it was great. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's only great because we made it great. So if you want to make the all of America great, not just foundational Black Americans, if you want to make America great, I'm going to need you to cut that check. And like our good brother Snatch Adams say, get the hell up out of the way. Now, before we get into this, oh, I see it in the chat. Okay. All right, we'll double up on it.
Send in the clowns.
All right, so Jasmine Crockett, right now we're in early voting stages from the 17th to the 27th. And Jasmine Crockett has been out here working overtime. And, you know, she's finding out that she's not really the doll of the party like she once believed. Shout out to our good sister Mia Kim in the building. Much love to you and thank you for being here. As always, my good sister. She's not the darling of the party as she once thought. She's not the face of the party as she once thought. What she's realizing or what she should be realizing now, if she hasn't realized it yet, is that you're the fall guy. You're just like every other black Democrat that they allow to speak loud and wrong. That they allow to be loud and wrong. Shout out to our good sister Tampa Bay in the building. Much love to you and thank you for being here. It's been a while since I caught a live, been working, but I missed you. I missed you too, sister. No worries. Trust me, that's why we got a replay. You know what I mean? Much love to you. But yeah, she hasn't gotten it through her mind yet. Just like Cori Bush. Cori Bush, they allowed her to go out there being loud and wrong too. And the second they wanted her removed, what did they do? They put money behind the person they wanted to take the seat, and they got her removed. And then she wanted to circle back and try to say, hey, big head, hey, I know I hadn't been doing too much, but, you know, they only did this to me because I was black. These people are always going to end up in the same damn way. As Professor Black Truth says, once the supremacist is done with his tools, he breaks them. So if it hasn't gotten through their minds yet that you are just a tool and you're only good as long as the tool is working, then they find out the hard way when they land on their head, because a hard head makes for a soft ass. And trust me when I say, most of these folks are tooting it up anyway. Now, I'm going to play this clip from her. Well, this is her campaign commercial, one of her campaign commercials.
Okay, so there are multiple Democrats running for Senate, but only one of us is already fighting Trump to lower costs, protect healthcare, and raise wages. Only one of us has taken on bullies from the courtroom to Congress and won. And only one of us is being attacked by Governor Abbott and billionaires on TV because they know I fight for you. And together we can win. I'm Jasmine Crockett, and I approve this message because the only thing they fear more than one of us is all of us.
I'm sorry, family. I gotta do it again.
Brain fried, scrambled like eggs in a skillet. Ooh. Thoughts running loose. Ooh. Can't even pin it. Ooh. Opinion spilling. Nonsense offended. Logic took a vacation. She ain't in it. Ooh. Caught in the fog, lost in the static. Ideas chaotic, vibes erratic. Speeches gymnastics, flips acrobatic. Words land hard, awkward and tragic. Ooh. Dumber than a box of Crockett's. Lost keys, no pockets. Talking loud, no logic. Every thought catastrophic. Dumber than a box of Crockett's. Every move out of pocket.
Family, somebody please tell me, who are these bullies that she fought from the courts to Congress and won? What has she won? Someone please tell me. From the courts to Congress. All I've seen is you taking up for illegals. All I've seen is you taking up for goddamn everybody else outside of America. All I've seen is you trying to make excuses for Democrats. I haven't seen you beat up a bully from the courts to Congress as of yet. So what is this woman talking about? This is her mantra at this point in time. Only one of us have fought the bullies from the courts to Congress and won. Well, what did you win? And exactly, where is the win? Not just what did you win, where is the win? Because you should be able to pull it up. You should be able to pull up your wins. They should be documented. Your wins should be able to be put on display for your campaign. I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. And no member of Congress has ever done these things as much as I've done these things. I got into Congress and I went right to work. I got this done, got this done, got this done, got this done. Can anybody tell me what she's gotten done? When I say these people are trying to have you go out and just the constituent, the voter base, period. They want people voting against. They don't have anything to vote for. Nothing. Shout out to Snatch Adams for your super chat donation. Once again, family, your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always, good brother. You go off cold, you go offline, period. Hey, you know what? Put that on a t-shirt. You know what I mean? That needs to be on a t-shirt. You go off cold, you go offline, period, point, and black. 100% fold, brother. 100% fold. Thank you once again. Shout out to Yvonne in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here, sister. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's go here, family. Let's go here, because for those who are members, you guys have already seen the video that I released about Jasmine Crockett and the celebrities. And I'm explaining basically no amount of celebrity is going to be able to save these people. Well, like I said, unfortunately, Jasmine Crockett is pulling out the same stops that Kamala did. And unfortunately, and I'm a huge Wu-Tang fan. I'm a Method Man and Redman fan. Huge. Love their body of music. Love it. But this shit right here, I throw to the wayside. I throw to the wayside. Your opinion does not matter to me. Go back in the booth. Let's continue.
Good. It's Method Man right here. We'll keep this message short and brief. Texas, it's time to vote. I need you to go out there and vote for my homie, my peoples, someone I trust. Jasmine Crockett as your next U.S. Senator. She is the leader we know and the fighter we can trust. So make sure you get out there, let your voice be heard.
Well, Method, I'm going to let my voice be heard when I say hell to the no. If you trust her, then I can't trust you. She is not the people we know. She's the person that we know goes against everything that we need in the black community. Method Man, what kind of Doja Cat weed have you been smoking lately? Method Man, did you switch from smoking marijuana to smoking meth in itself? Just say no, my guy. And I said this several times before, but I'm going to say this again. No matter who you bring out, you're just making them persona non grata at that point in time. Shout out to William Aaron. I thought he was Method Man, not Meth Head Man. And oh, shout out to you for that one. That is that is good. Hold the hell up. Much love. I gotta do it. My brother said meth head man. Oh, Jack. Family, like I said, these people are only making things worse for themselves. As artists. Because now I don't want to hear the next Method Man album. I probably will, but at this point in time, I don't want to hear another Method Man album, to be honest with you. I kind of feel like it's going to be a lot of innuendos about voting Democrat. A lot of metaphors about being a Jasmine Crockett stan. Let me tell you celebrities something. If you celebrities want to vote for anybody, by all means, that is your right as a human being, as a red-blooded American citizen. You have the right to go and vote for whoever you want. But thinking you're going to get us off the couch for these people? If you think you're going to get us to bubble in their name, you might as well just keep your damn phone in your pocket. You might as well keep your phone in your pocket. You're basically showing us that you're bought and paid for. You're bootlicks too. But the thing about you musicians and entertainers, I expect y'all to be bought and paid for. That's what you do. You're actors. You get paid to act. You're entertainers. You get paid to entertain. Just entertain and stay out of our goddamn political business. You do what you want with your political vote. For us, it is much different. We live in two different worlds. I'm out here in the black grassroots. You up there living life with people who are in the tax bracket that really don't get basically affected by a lot of these policies. You guys are not affected by the things that affect us in the black grassroots. So what makes you think your voices hold any type of water when it comes to the black grassroots and what's necessary and what is the interest of the black grassroots? Just stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. It is that simple. And stay out of ours. I'm not in the studio slapping the microphone out of your hand. Stay in your lane. Shout out to our good brother Ach in the building, as well as A. Jones in the building. Much love to you. Thank you both for being here. And shout out to our brother Black RU Church. I heard Willie D endorsed her. I'm pretty sure he did. Just like the good Democrat shill he is. That's why I don't listen to Willie D either. I don't care who got a good standing relationship with the dude. He's a shill. And everybody know it. So I don't give a damn. You could be cool with Tariq. You could be cool with goddamn. Hell, if Black Alpha called me tomorrow and said, hey, you know, me and Willie D, we pretty cool. I'll be like, all right, cool. We still know that he's a shill, right? Oh, yeah, you know, we still know that. We cool, though. All right, cool. No problem. So to be honest with you, I'm not surprised. At all. Now, Scarface, I would probably be more surprised that Scarface endorsed her. But that's just me. Family, since we're talking about endorsements, you know who else is endorsing Jasmine Crockett? Latinos.
Yo voy a amarte todos los días, todas las noches estaremos juntos. Con los yo voy a amarte todos los días, todas las noches estaremos juntos. Con los
Now, why are the Latinos supporting Jasmine Crockett? Oh, that's right, because, you know, she's against ICE. So, you know, she has constituents. Why are y'all talking to us about voting for her? She could go over there to those folks. Right. They gave her a Telemundo commercial. Go ahead and get your constituents up, Jasmine. You don't need us, right? I think the only person that's from Jamaica is Bush McBill. If I'm correct, I believe Bush McBill is Jamaican. But Scarface and Willie D, I believe, are FBA. I know for a fact Scarface is FBA. But I also believe that Willie D is FBA as well. Family, she got her constituents. She don't need us. But every time you turn around, she's talking about how she's a black woman and she needs us. Let's go here.
45% of the people that showed up on day one are people that always vote. People that always vote in the Democratic primary. 45%. 55% of the people that showed up on day one don't normally vote in the primary. In fact, 20% of those voters were first-time voters. I'm telling you, so block out the noise. This is about going after our base that has not been excited, that has not been engaged, and that doesn't mean that we leave Republicans out of this. But every single cycle, they tell us, well, how are you gonna go get the Republicans? You probably need to sound more like a Republican. That's what they tell us. And what happens with our base? Our base gets turned off because we sound like a Republican. And frankly, Republicans don't want the Republicans to sound like Republicans right now. So listen, whoever is going to cross over, which it will happen, they will cross over. It doesn't matter who the candidate is. I'm just being honest. They will cross over because of the circumstances that they find themselves in, and they may have decided that it was time to be woke, right? From a purely statistical number perspective, I can tell you I have evaluated over and over. The crossover is minimal. The win is in turning out the base. Texas is one of the lowest turnout states in the entire country. We only turn out a little bit more than 50% of the registered voters that we have on the rolls right now, but that's not going to be the case this time.
Oh, that's definitely going to be the case, and it's unfortunate that you don't understand it. Texas is one of the most, let me put it like this. The reason why a lot of Texans or people in Texas don't really go out and vote like that is because, like I said earlier, y'all don't give them nothing to go and vote for. You haven't given us anything to go and vote for. What makes you think that for any reason Texas is going to go and run and vote Democrat all of a sudden? Everything that your party is doing is completely opposite of what the average Texan stands for. Open borders, fighting against the goddamn government in order to keep illegals here and everything else. You think people are going to rush out to go and vote for you? You haven't offered any policy. You haven't offered anything. You only says, I'm going against Trump. I'm going against Trump. I'm going against Trump. I'm going against the Republicans. I'm going against the Republicans. I'm going against the Republicans. There's no policy in anything that you're saying. None. Let's go here. No policy.
This is something that seemingly is only being attributed to me. I don't know if it's the blackness or the womanness or the both. Or the both. But here's the reality. When I got into this race, I knew I was a black woman. I kind of woke up.
She blackity black right now. But there's nothing being said in what she's saying. And you see this tap dancing coon in the back right there, Ron Reynolds, the man I ran up on, the man who disappeared on me like Batman. And I'll tell you both, just like I told him and I told Sheila Jackson Lee, Christian Clark, Senator Boris, and everybody else that was there. If you do not offer foundational Black Americans something, if you do not bring us tangible policies, you will lose. And what happened in 2024, ladies and gentlemen? They lost. Oh, let me say that in the key of Kid Gravity. They lost. And the same thing is going to happen here because they're not offering anything. They're not bringing any policies, nothing tangible. It's just a bunch of finger pointing and complaining. Let's go here, family.
If you've never heard of my opponent before this race, I just want you to ask yourself why. That's it. Like, it's not shade, these are facts. My opponent has been an elected official longer than I have been. Yeah, for somebody who was surprised. Yes. When I got to the state house, he was already there. To be clear, if you've never heard of my opponent before this,
like I said, she's not saying nothing. If you never heard of my opponent, ask yourself why. He was there before I got there, you know, chat. But what are you really saying to this room full of Black folk? Not a goddamn thing. Nothing. Let's go here, family.
You say you're tired of people asking the electability question.
Yeah.
Why do you think you're getting that question?
Listen, the best of the best get it, right? We know that Ann Richards, when she ran to become governor, she faced the same issues. It's just sad to see that was back in the 90s, and now we're in 2026 and we're still doing this. We also know that one of the best known senators out of the state of Texas, Kay Bailey Hutchison, was a woman who was elected a long time ago. So honestly, I just want people to focus on credentials. It seems like we've gotten distracted, and I don't want people to be distracted. That is nothing more than a distraction. Because at the end of the day, when have you ever gone out and said, well, I'm going to vote for this person because of that? When people are voting, they're voting because they're hurting, right? They're hurting as it relates to housing costs. They're hurting as it relates to healthcare. They're hurting as it relates to food costs. And for people that don't want someone to talk about the issues, they go to something else. They pivot. But I've worked on these issues.
Okay, family. So, like I said, people are saying she's not electable. And she isn't. She's not an electable person because everything that she thought she was doing for the Democrats have made her unelectable. I think the wig is too tight. Granted, this wig look a lot better than all the other wigs I've seen on her. They blended this one a lot better than they did on the other one. I'll give her that much. But I guess when the wig looks better, it must be tighter. So I guess the wig is too tight because she can't grasp that whole concept. The person that the Democratic Party convinced you to be, you know, the loud, ratchet woman who don't stand for the quote unquote people of her community. By doing that, you've made yourself unelectable. Let's be very clear about that. Shout out to our sister Andrea Jones in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for your Cash App donation. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always, my good sister. And shout out to our good brother William Eric for this super chat. Once again, I appreciate your contribution. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate you as always, my good brother. If the Black community paid our politicians like they worked, we would send them a bill. It would be a big one too. Hey, family, I'm with you 100-fold there, bro. If we was to have to pay our politicians, if we had to pay these people, these folks would literally be having to pay us. They would literally have to pay us. The bill would be in the high negatives. You owe us money, nigga. Much love to our brother for that. Real beings. That is factual. 100% factual. And shout out to Snatch Adams. Thank you for this contribution. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate you as always, family. FBA men, get ready to be blamed for Jasmine Crockett's loss. Fellas, it's always Jermaine's fault. No, you can't hang Jermaine. Shout out to you for that contribution, family. Much love to you. And shout out to our sister Bad72. Thank you for your Cash App donation. Your donation is blessed tenfold. And I appreciate your contribution as always, my good sister. Let's go here, family.
I'm here to tell you that I got into this race knowing that on the day that I decided that I woke up as a Black woman. I got into this race knowing that there would be unique challenges to my candidacy simply because, unfortunately, America can't get over herself. I woke up knowing that the reality is that I didn't become the 55th Black woman nor elected to the Congress and the 22nd Black woman ever elected to the State House and the 4th Black woman elected to go to DC from Texas. I can tell you that my path has always been a little different and a little bit more challenging. I'm here to tell you that I got into this race.
No, it hasn't. Because when you got put in office the first time, you were selected. When you got sent to Washington, you were selected. What is she talking about? See, now she's trying to talk like she took the hardest roads in order to get where she is today. No, the hard roads would be actually doing something for your people. The hard roads would be writing policy and fighting to get them passed for your people. The hard road would be standing up for your people. See, the easy road is talking about illegals. The easy road is doing whatever the establishment tells you to. The easy road is talking about whatever the establishment tells you to talk about. The hard road that is less traveled is when you actually work in politics for the people that you claim to represent, which is foundational Black Americans. That's the road less traveled. Let's go here, family. Like I said, these folks just don't get it, and she's finding out because what ended up happening is her opponent, James Tallarico, was invited to the Stephen Colbert show. And apparently, the FCC contacted CBS and explained to them, hey, check this out. If you're going to be doing the interview with James Tallarico, you have to give equal time to Jasmine Crockpot. And the hilarious thing is, instead of giving equal time to Jasmine Crockpot, shout out to Shalonda in the building. Much love to you. Great to see you as always, my sister. Instead of giving Jasmine Crockpot the same amount of time, they decided, oh, well, I'm just going to put this interview on YouTube. And because of that, James Tallarico raised $2.5 million after Stephen Colbert interviewed him. Now, you know what a lot of people was going to say. Oh, Trump had this shit down. Trump, it was Trump. It was all Trump. Let's go here. Shout out to Only Us in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here, family, as always. Let's go here. All right, Joshua Reed, take it away. He says it's important that you understand what happened last night. Last night, Stephen Colbert interviewed Democrats Texas Senate candidate James Tallarico, a candidate who, by all accounts, is on track in the polls to flip Texas blue, excuse me. In response, Trump's FCC reportedly threatened CBS if the interview aired. CBS caved and pulled the segment, citing financial reasons. In modern American history, no president has been more hostile to free speech than Donald Trump. But censorship always backfires. Here's the full segment Trump didn't want you to see. Now, family, that interview was pretty damn long. That interview was damn near about an hour, a little over an hour. However, old Jasmine Crockpot, she got out there and broke ranks. And she had to admit that Donald Trump had nothing to do with the segment being pulled. Shout out to our sister Anita Harrell in the building. Much love to you. And thank you for being here, as well as Gina Turner. Thank you for being here, family. Much love to the both of you. Let's go here.
We did receive information suggesting that the federal government did not shut down this segment. Number one, that is my understanding, that the federal government didn't shut this down, and we will do an official statement once we get another official statement that we anticipate is going to be coming from Paramount. All right, so we will read what they say, and then we'll go from there. It's our understanding that Mr. Colbert or CBS decided.
I don't know why the hell all of a sudden this is super extra damn loud, the background.
And this was because of a fear that the FCC may say something to them, and that there may have been.
Let me see if this one is okay. Let's go to this one. Let's go here, because this one you can actually hear. The Hill, CBS denied it pulled Colbert's Tallarico interview. Let's go here, family.
I have done Colbert a number of times. If you paid attention, I've done Colbert a number of times. I've done The View a number of times. I've done Kimmel a number of times. I've done all these shows a number of times. We did receive information suggesting that the federal government did not shut down this segment. Number one, that is my understanding, that the federal government didn't shut this down, and we will do an official statement once we get another official statement that we anticipate is going to be coming from Paramount. All right, so we will read what they say, and then we'll go from there. It is our understanding that Colbert, either Mr. Colbert or CBS, decided to make this get on Paramount. And this was because of a fear that the FCC may say something to them, and that there may have been advice to just have me on, and then they could clear the issue. It was my understanding that someone somewhere decided we just don't want to do that, and instead we're going to just do it this way. So I don't believe, and let me be clear.
So, family, she got snubbed by the Colbert Show. And you know, Stephen Colbert, he's a staunch Democrat. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Him and that John Daly, whatever the hell his last name is, I forget his name, but you know who I'm talking about, the one that used to do the Daily Show. Jon Stewart, that's his name. Both of them are staunch Democrat shills. However, this right here actually worked out for Jasmine a little bit, to be honest with you, because now all these different news places and publications, they're all interviewing her about being snubbed by the Colbert Show. And I would say it's being snubbed by the Democrats. because that's really what it is. But let's go here.
They name checked you. I mean, they said this. The show was provided legal guidance that the broadcast could trigger the FCC equal time rule for 2 other candidates, including Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. What do you make of that explanation?
We actually received a phone call, and that was a little bit earlier today. And in that call, they explained that they actually told CBS that they could go ahead and move forward with the interview of James Tallarico. They just needed to offer me equal time. I did not get a request from the Colbert Show to go on. As you know, I've been on Colbert multiple times, and frankly, if we would have gotten an offer, that would have been great. But we're in the middle of early voting, so I'm kind of focused on being in Texas at this moment. I don't know what to believe. That's for sure. But I got that phone call as I was out talking to voters.
That's it. So there's so many things to talk to you about again, but they called you today, but they decided not to air the interview last night. You've been on Colbert a number of times, as you just said. Did you have any issue?
Let's go here.
Congresswoman, I'm sorry to beat a dead horse on this topic. I know you have been asked about it countless times, but this whole saga has been.
Wait a
on this.
Hold up.
Congresswoman, I'm sorry to beat a dead horse on this topic. I know you have been asked about it countless times, but this whole saga has been still quite confusing.
Family. I don't want to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean-spirited. I'm not. But family, let me zoom in here. Hold the hell up. Oh, man, family. Can somebody tell me why this woman's face looked like a Picasso picture? Is it just me? Her left eye. No, I'm sorry. That's her right eye. Yeah, her right eye is way damn lower than her left eye is. She looks like a straight up Picasso picture. And I don't mean that in a good way. But I digress, family. I apologize. That just threw me for a loop. Let's go back here.
Congresswoman, I'm sorry to beat a dead horse on this topic. I know you have been asked about it countless times, but this whole saga has been still quite confusing to me. Have you received any additional clarity either from the Trump administration, from Tallarico's campaign, or from the Colbert Show about why this all happened in the first place? And has Colbert invited you on his show, especially since Tallarico just announced that he raised $2.5 million off of this story?
No, I've not been invited on Colbert prior to his interview nor post his interview. Obviously, I've done Colbert twice in the past. And so there were questions that people had about whether or not basically equal time, so to speak, had been offered to me.
Yes, Iron Will, that is Shirley Chisholm. And she reveres Shirley Chisholm. That's what makes me think that she's a tether. Well, not what makes me think. Another reason why it makes me think that she's a tether. But also because there is one woman that she has not mentioned. And she's been making statements like, if I win, I'd be the first Black woman elected to the Senate. Some of her supporters are running around saying the same thing. And that's not true whatsoever. But we're going to get into that. Let's put a pin in that for a hot second, my good brother. Good call, because we're going to bring that up. We're definitely going to bring that up. Much love to you, my good brother. Let's let her continue.
In order to try to avoid Brendan Carr and his misinterpretation or his reinterpretation of the rules. The only information that I got was after this debacle took place. I did receive a phone call from the parent company, from a representative for the parent company, that basically said they did not tell them they couldn't air it. They just said, if you air it, just make sure that you offer the representative equal time. Now, obviously, I wasn't engaged in that conversation, so I cannot confirm the veracity of any statements, but I can confirm that I had never been asked to go on as it relates to kind of talking about the Senate race.
All right, let's go here. Because the family wanted to chime in. Shout out to Donnie on timeout. You already know.
We did receive information suggesting that the federal government did not shut down this segment. Number one, that is my understanding, that the federal government didn't shut this down, and we will do an official statement once we get another official statement that we anticipate is going to be coming from Paramount. All right, so we will read what they say, and then we'll go from there. It's our understanding that Colbert, either Mr. Colbert or CBS, decided to.
Look, I said let's put a pin in it, and somebody just couldn't wait. I get it. Much love to you, my address. Thank you for being here. Shout out to you, but you're absolutely correct. That's who we're going to get back to. That's why I said let's put a pin in it, because she ain't never spoke about Barbara Jordan. Have you noticed that? She don't speak about Barbara Jordan, but she damn sure will speak about Shirley Chisholm. But we'll get into that in a hot second, just a hot second. Much love for you, to you. Thank you for that comment.
Stephen Colbert gave Jasmine Crockett the coldest cold shoulder in history. I mean, it was cold as ice. It was Allen Iverson crossover cold. Had her exiting stage left before she even entered the stage just because he didn't want to platform her. So CBS came to Stephen Colbert and told him, according to FCC rules guidelines, during election time, if you platform one candidate, you have to platform their opponent, give them the same amount of time. So he wanted to platform James Tellerico, who's running for Senate in Texas. So is Jasmine, but he just didn't want to interview her. So he found a way around it. He just put James Tellerico interview on YouTube. That way he don't have to abide by the guidelines. Then he turned around and blamed everything on Trump and blamed everything on CBS and blamed everything on LCC.
My guest tonight, that's Texas State Representative James Tallarico. He was supposed to be here, but we were told in no uncertain terms by our network's lawyers, who called us directly, that we could not have him on the broadcast. Then I was told in some uncertain terms that not only could I not have him on, I could not mention me not having him on. And because my network clearly doesn't want us to talk about this, let's talk about this. I am going to interview James Tallarico tonight, but it's not going to be on The Late Show. It's going to be on The Late Show's YouTube page. The network says I can't give you a URL or a QR code, but I promise you, if you go to our YouTube page, you'll find it.
So the left is now turning on Jasmine Crockett, all because she said Stephen Colbert did lie when Stephen Colbert said that the FCC and Donald Trump shut down his interview with James Tallarico, who is her direct opponent.
We did receive information suggesting that the federal government did not shut down this segment. Number one, that is my understanding, that the federal government didn't shut this down, and we will do an official statement once we get another official statement that we anticipate is going to be coming.
Because she agreed Trump did not censor this interview, people are attacking her. Jasmine Crockett denied that Trump FCC was responsible for blocking James Tallarico's segment with Colbert, essentially calling Colbert a liar. Why is she like this? This ugly negative campaigning is getting ridiculous. I guess the worst thing a Democrat could ever do is call Stephen Colbert a liar. You have many other posts like this with hundreds of thousands of views saying she just lost me, she is just awful, all because she did not join in on the lie that Stephen Colbert was censored. Left does not care about the truth. What they care about is making Trump look bad.
So now Jasmine Crockett is under fire, ladies and gentlemen, all because she told the truth. And honestly, she surprised the hell out of me, because, you know, you can't tell the truth when it ain't in you. But apparently she found it. She found some truth to tell, family. And, you know, yeah. So she's starting to see not only the backlash from the party, but she's seeing the backlash from the constituents, those die-hard shills that the Democratic Party have worked so hard to put into a mental state of limbo. Exactly. A broken tool. Shout out to Snatch Adams once again. Thank you for your contribution once again, family, and I appreciate your donation. It is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate everything you do. FYI to the family, there is no black immigrants in the United States of America. There are Caribbean immigrants and African immigrants. That is all. It's a lineage here and not a tethercrat placeholder. Oh, that is so good. A tethercrat placeholder. You are absolutely correct, my good brother, and thank you for your contribution. That right there, that's exactly what they want, though. They want us to take them ass, you know what I mean? Black this and black that, when none of these people even claim to be black until it's time to be black. And what I mean by that is, for them, when it's time to be black, they're black. For us, when it's time to be black, they're Haitian. When it's time to be black, they're Caribbean. When it's time to be black, they're African. So yeah, I'm with you 100% full. We have no black immigrants here. We have Jamaican immigrants. We have Haitian immigrants. We have Caribbean immigrants. We have African immigrants. That's it. That's all. Shout out to you. Shout out to Sweet Jean as well for being in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here. Now, like I said, Jasmine is now realizing that she is not the darling that the Democratic Party made her believe that she was. I want to go over here, take a quick detour to something that Tim Black had to say. Shout out to him. Let's go here.
Of people asking whether or not I am electable. The reality is that that is nothing but dog whistle. If you got a super PAC that's doing your bidding, then they need to go ahead and lift you up. What they shouldn't be doing is tearing down a black woman who, number one, is more qualified. These are just the facts.
There's this young state rep, James Tirico, who was on there a while back out of Texas.
Oh, that guy's good, right?
He's terrific. A really talented young man.
Right.
I think a guy like him, his starting point is, let me say what I believe. I think now more than ever, what people long for, and the word authenticity gets overused, I think. What people long for is some core integrity.
I was telling y'all this from day one about her. It don't look good, fam. Welcome to the No Filter Zone.
Shout out to Tim Black for that. So with all that happening, Jasmine Crockett has released another commercial. This time, it's not just her sitting there talking about fictional wins or whatever the situation may have you. This time, it's more targeted towards James Tallarico. So let's go here.
James Tallarico says the right things, but he doesn't practice what he preaches. He says he'll take on billionaires, but a billionaire-funded super PAC is spending $5.4 million in dark money supporting him. He says he'll show up for Texas, but he missed over 900 votes, like rural healthcare, education, and school safety. Jasmine Crockett has taken on bullies from the courtroom to Congress and won. Tallarico is just talk. Crockett is all fight.
Notice that talking, like I said, that is her rallying cry at this moment. This is her mantra. This is what she wants people to think. This is what her messaging is. She has taken on bullies from the court to Congress and won. But yet they have not told you what she has won. They have not told you what she has done in Congress. They're not giving you any wins. Usually they can just rattle off a whole damn list of things that has been done since they got into Congress. She ain't added not one thing to it. Not one. But this is her rallying cry.
Show up for Texas, but he missed over 900 votes, like rural healthcare, education, and school safety. Jasmine Crockett has taken on bullies from the courtroom to Congress and won. Tallarico is just talk. Crockett is all fight.
Only time I see Jasmine Crockett fighting is when it's to benefit what the established wants. She talk about the billionaire super PACs, but she's still in bed with some of those same super PACs. So I'm kind of confused by this whole ending here. Crockett is all fight. She's all fight when it comes to things that foundational Black Americans need. She's all fight when it comes down to trying to protect illegals. She's all fight when she wants to, blame everything on Donald Trump and his cronies. Now, don't get me wrong. Some things are on Donald Trump and his cronies, but I'm saying when she is doing it, she's using it as a political football. She's sitting there quite literally and I said this in a conversation to some friends of mine the other day who kept on trying to talk about the Epstein files, but all they wanted to talk about was Donald Trump. And I explained to them, you do understand that it was both Republicans and Democrats inside of the Epstein files. You do understand that the Epstein files set and really they could have been released during the time of goddamn Joe Biden. The Democrats didn't want to do nothing. The Democrats ain't even discuss it. So you have to understand, it's not just Republicans in those files, but you're going off of the rhetoric that you're hearing. You're hearing everybody just try to put it on the Republicans, and that is disrespectful. By doing that, that tells me you don't really give a damn about what's happening to those women. You don't really give a damn about what's happening to those children. And you don't give a damn as long as you can point the finger at one side or the other. Both sides are highly implemented. Both sides. And that's why the Democratic Party didn't go after nobody who was in that goddamn pedo ring. And that's why the Republicans ain't going after nobody who's in those pedo rings. Hell, Kristi Noem just said, if I go after everybody in the fouls, if I turn the fouls into arrest, then our whole economy would collapse. What kind of person says some dumb shit like that? You know what? Let me back up, because I said I was going to talk about the Republicans on Wednesday. But this is my point. If you're pointing the finger to one side or the other, you're a part of the goddamn problem. It's both parties implemented in those fouls. Hell, even some people in the third party, the Green Party, is implemented in those fouls. So if you ain't talking about locking everybody up, if the only thing you want to talk about is locking up Trump or saying Trump is he's Epstein's best friend and all this other stuff, okay, then you need to be talking about Bill Clinton and him being best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, to the point where Epstein got him in a goddamn blue dress. And come to find out, that picture with Bill Clinton in the blue dress, that dress, a lot of people thought that was Hillary Clinton's dress. No, that was the Monica Lewinsky dress that he had him painted in. But see, me, I'm not a person that's looking at one side over the other. I'm not trying to blame one party over the other. I'm looking at it from a straight subjective, objective, place in this situation. I can call out the fact that Trump was running around with Jeffrey Epstein, but I will also call out Bill Clinton running around with Jeffrey Epstein. And then I will also call out George Bush Jr. being in cahoots with Jeffrey Epstein. You see how that works? That is me saying all of these people need to be arrested and locked the hell up for the rest of their damn years. I'm not sitting here trying to pick a side. But I digress. Shout out to our sister Astarte Jones in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here. My point is this. These people pretend that they have the moral high ground, and neither one of them do. Neither one of them do. So the same thing goes for Jasmine Crockpot when she talks about all fight. She's acting as if she has a moral high ground. She's acting as if she's actually been out there fighting for things that we actually need rather than everyone else. She is very selective in her representation, but she wants you to believe that she was up there fighting for you. And to that, I say hell to the hell no. Shout out to our good brother Cool Keezy in the building, as well as our good brother Crew Reality in the building. Much love to the both of you. Thank you both for being here. Now, Jasmine is quite literally finding out the hard way, like I said, that she isn't the Democratic darling that she thought that she was, that they convinced her that she was, that they told her that she was. You know, folks running around here calling her the face of the party. And now she's realizing that face is getting pulled back. Let's go here.
The thing that is not normal is for me to be attacked from the left. That is the new wild card in this scenario. But it's just interesting. And, I've been asked a couple of times, a couple of things about it. And, I look at this specifically as a civil rights lawyer, and I see when they're sending out ads and they're darkening my skin. And I'm just like, I know what this is.
Wait, what? They're sending out ads and darkening your skin? Jasmine, you are not a light-skinned woman. And every time I see a picture of you, it's caked on makeup. But she damn sure said they're out there darkening her skin. Okay. All right. So you're admitting that the Democratic Party is racist. Right? That what you're doing? Is that what I heard, family? Did you guys hear the same thing? Is she out here saying that the Democratic Party is racist? Let's play that back, shall we?
The thing that is not normal is for me to be attacked from the left. That is the new wild card in this scenario. But it's just interesting. And, I've been asked a couple of times, a couple of things about it. And, I look at this specifically as a civil rights lawyer, and I see when they're sending out ads and they're darkening my skin. And I'm just like, I know what this is, right? And the reality is that, yes, I woke up a black woman. I was born a black woman. I know I'm a black woman for everybody that didn't think I didn't know. Just FYI, just FYI. But I am not running on the fact that I'm a black woman. I am.
Wait, what? Wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute.
Nigga, please.
Did she just say she's not running on the fact that she's a black woman? Let me replay some things. Let's go here.
You say you're tired of people asking the electability question.
Yeah.
Why do you think you're getting that question?
Listen, the best of the best get it, right? We know that Ann Richards, when she ran to become governor, she faced the same issues. It's just sad to see that was back in the 90s, and now we're in 2026 and we're still doing this. We also know that one of the best known senators out of the state of Texas, Kay Bailey Hutchison, was a woman who was elected a long time ago. So honestly, I just want people to focus on credentials. It seems like we've gotten distracted, and I don't want people to be distracted. That is nothing more than a distraction. Because at the end of the day, when have you ever gone out and say, well, I'm going to vote for this person because of that? When people are voting, they're voting because they're hurting, right? They're hurting. I'm here to tell you that I got into this race knowing that on the day that I decided that I woke up as a black woman. I got into this race knowing that there would be unique challenges to my candidacy simply because, unfortunately, America can't get over herself. I woke up knowing that the reality is that I didn't become the 55th black woman nor elected to the Congress, and the 22nd black woman ever elected to the state house, and the 4th black woman elected to go to DC from Texas. I can tell you that my path has always been a little different and a little bit more challenging. That the reality is that I didn't become the 55th black woman nor elected to the Congress, and the 22nd black woman ever elected to the state house, and the 4th black woman elected to go to DC from Texas. I can tell you that my path has always been a little different and a little bit more challenging. I'm here to tell you that this is something that seemingly is only being attributed to me. I don't know if it's the blackness or the womanness or the both. Seemingly is only being attributed to me. I don't know if it's the blackness or the womanness or the both. Or the both. But here's the reality. When I got into this race, I knew I was a black woman. I kind of woke up as a black woman. This is something that seemingly is only being attributed to me. I don't know if it's the blackness or the woman.
So what is this nonsense about you not running on your blackness? It makes no sense.
But I am not running on the fact that I'm a black woman. I am running on my credentials.
And what credentials are those, Jasmine? Because I still ain't heard not a damn thing that you have done or a damn win that you claim to have. Ain't heard it yet. Ain't heard it yet. And Miss D, I see you. I got to. Send in the clowns. I swear these people just say anything. And they expect nobody to actually check them on it. In every damn speech you didn't have, you bring up, I know I'm a black woman. I woke up black. I just woke up black. I'm running as this black woman and as the first black woman this and black woman that and black, bliggity black. But then you get on this damn right in front of this damn camera and say, well, I'm running as a black woman, but I'm not running on my blackness. All these people. All right, let's let it continue.
But I am not running on the fact that I'm a black woman. I am running on my credentials. And frankly, if no one wants to talk about my credentials or what it is that they are going to do for you, then that should be what's most alarming. This election ain't about me. Election is about us.
And what are your credentials going to do for us, Jasmine? Because you still ain't said nothing about it. You're making this grandstand about all these Democrats doing you wrong. You making this grandstand about being the person for the job, but yet you still ain't told us what your expertise could do for us, Jasmine. Just very interested. Inquiring minds would like to know what exactly is your platform. Shout out to our brother Iron Will. This is the result of the delineation, and you are absolutely correct. And let me give a B1 salute to our good brother Reef in the building. Much love to you, my good brother. Shalom to you, shalom. As well as our sister M. Hampton in the building. Much love to you, and thank you both for being here, family. So, I want to show you the differences in between this Tallarico guy versus the things that Jasmine Crockett is saying. So this is what Tallarico have been saying, or going around saying, and he's been admitting that, you know, basically the Democratic Party had just went a little bit too far. Shout out to our brother Leonard Yuda in the building, as well as our brother Zavon Scott in the building. Thank you for becoming a member, my good brother. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always, family. Let's go here.
Useful, and I think it's hurt a lot of people, including a lot of people who voted for the president in 2024.
Under the Biden administration, certainly prices went through the roof, and inflation was unbearable. And President Trump has done a great job of getting the economy back.
Now, notice who he's sitting there agreeing with. Is that Laura Loomer? Interesting.
Useful, and I think it's hurt a lot of people, including a lot of people who voted for the president in 2024.
Under the Biden administration, certainly prices went through the roof, and inflation was unbearable. And President Trump has done a great job of getting the economy back to a more stable place.
Useful, and I think it's hurt a lot of.
Now, in comparison to Jasmine Crockpot, this is what she's talking about.
The defund movement seeks to actually bring about healing and finally invest in our communities to make them safer, addressing the root causes of crime, and by allowing the professionals to do their respective jobs. Defund is about finally being smart on crime. Defund is about lightening the load for our officers of all things they didn't sign up for. Defund is about finally being fiscally responsible when it comes to policing in this state. The defund movement seeks to actually bring.
So like I said, family, he's trying to, and by he, I'm talking about the James Tallarico guy. He's trying to sound center left, and she's still on the deep end of the left. And because of that, more people are starting to flock towards that James Tallarico guy. It is what it is. I want to go here because these are the folks that she's talking about defunding ICE for. This man sees a black family moved into a house on his street, and I just want you to listen to how he responds to the family. Let's go here.
Why? Dolly? Who the fuck are you? How the hell you get this house? Where's the lady that lives here? Where's the lady that lives here, bro? The lady don't live there no more, bro. Straight up? Yeah, she knows she's happy. These motherfuckers is Chicago? What? These motherfuckers is Chicago? It's crazy, bro. Straight up crazy. Hell yeah, crazy as fuck. Hell yeah, nigga. Yeah. What's up? I mean, what's up? the fuck is you, bro? Coming in my hood. What the fuck is this going on, bro? Why did Puerto Rican lady, bro? No, bullshit, nigga. What happened to that lady that used to live here? Esta cabrona no sale.
There's a little girl right there, dude. Go back to your house. Go back to your house. I'm not doing nothing, bro. This little girl's right here.
Go inside. Go inside.
She been left to Puerto Rico, bro, months ago. Months ago.
This house?
Huh? Yeah, this is their new house. They've been here for months. En serio, bro. Déjalos quietos. Son tranquilos.
What you mean?
Yo te dejo con lo tuyo, papi. Tú estás en la propiedad.
What you mean? How the fuck you get here, bro? How the fuck a Puerto Rican woman sleep out of nowhere? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck you gonna come in my house? In this shit right here. Fuck that, nigga. Fuck that, nigga. I'm gonna find out real quick. Cause I know you don't. I call Trump real quick, buddy. I call Trump on your ass real quick. Fuck.
All right, family. So y'all heard that. Y'all heard this drunk Mexican or whatever the hell he is see a black woman and her child out there. And I believe she's married to a white dude because I seen a white arm there. However, yep, that looks like a white arm. I might be wrong. It might be light skin, but that looks like she married to a white dude. But he saw a black woman and her child out there. And he start going the hell off. This man is out here talking about he'll call Trump on her. This is how delusional these people are. Trump ain't going after people like us, people who are in the country legally. And I don't know about this woman here, but that's his mindset. That's his mindset. He believes that he can call Trump and have him go after black people. This man hasn't been paying attention to what Tom Homan's been doing in these streets, have he? Yeah, I think that he's a little bit too intoxicated to understand the gravity in which he speaks on. But we're supposed to give you our vote so you can allow more people like this to stay in a country that they didn't build, they're not supposed to be in, and that they broke into and then got here and became hostile towards our community? Is that why we're supposed to be voting for Jasmine Crockpot? Yeah, it's a no for me, dog. I guess I gotta watch a free fall. Let's go here. These are the poll numbers for 2026 out here in Texas. And right now, if you look over here, James Tallarico is polling at 79%. 79%. And Jasmine Crockpot, let's go here, is at 22%. Hell, they're taking bets on the market. 79 cents on yes. 22 cents on yes. Yeah, Jasmine. It looks like you're going to have a huge issue there. But you're not alone, Jasmine. You're not alone. You're just not. But before we get to your others, I'm going to let your supporters have their little say. Let's go here.
I just got to tell you, this Tallarico guy. So Jose, he's on TikTok. Jose, can you see? Also on Twitter. And he posted this quote from Tallarico as he was talking to Joe Rogan. It's a different screenshot. I think Joe Rogan is doing what he's doing, maybe how we can fix this democracy, and we should listen to our enemies and stuff like that, right? Because he thinks that he can quote a couple of scriptures that he can win over MAGA. So he's been talking to MAGA a lot. And he says that Joe Biden is a failure and Joe Rogan is the savior of our democracy. Now remember, Joe Rogan is a Trump supporter. He's a two-time Trump supporter, right? He's a conspiracy theorist. He is a known racist. Just look up his videos of him all of that in word. And he's a crackpot. right? Just out there. But he has a big old platform because Spotify likes people like Joe Rogan. He says Joe Rogan is the savior of our democracy. Now, his mouthpiece over on Twitter, this little tiny guy named Keith Edwards here, he's been trolling Jose for a couple of weeks, right? And so Jose had tweeted that out. James called Biden a failure. Now, has he ever been that bold with his criticism for Trump? His supporters say that he has, but they can't provide any quotes or anything. Anything where he says Trump has failed us on XYZ would help. Now, here's what's important. His little mouthpiece up there, Keith Edwards, says, please make this go viral. Tallarico was independent of the Democratic Party and its leaders, and it's essential that Texas know that. Now, I agree with Keithy here, but not in the way that he is meaning this to be. Democratic voters, especially, not exclusively, but especially Democratic voters who are Latino and Black in Texas, who are always gerrymandered, and they do so much to prevent you from voting in your populations, particularly in Houston, where Black people live and vote. In other areas, but Houston is so massive. This is him letting you know that he's not really, Tallarico's not a Democrat. And many people have said he's going to turn into a John Fetterman. You know what I'm talking about. Or Kristen Sinema or Joe Manchin. He's telling you right now, he is independent of the party. So look, I'm not in Texas. I don't vote there, but we all have an interest in what is happening now and eventually in the House and in the Senate and so forth. If I were in Texas, I would recognize this for what it is. Tallarico is not for you. He is for Republicans and the right wingers. He is not part of the Democratic Party. He is independent. Vote for Jasmine Crockett.
So I was checking my social media throughout, the time that I was away, not doing videos. And a particular person who said this.
Billionaires don't just influence politicians, they own them. That's why I don't take corporate PAC money. It's why I fought to cap campaign contributions.
Yeah, the same person who's not taking billionaire and PAC money is taking PAC money.
Jasmine Crockett is the only one being backed by Republicans. They spent money to lift her up and push her into this race. Here's why.
She is their favorite candidate because they think that they can beat her.
So with all that's at stake and absolutely everything on the line, remember this. If she wins,
It is a gift to Republicans.
we lose. Lone Star Rising PAC is responsible for content as that.
And watching his debate performance, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'm having some thoughts. This man may operate, if elected, if he gets to his primary and win, he's going to operate like Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema, and currently now John Fetterman. Let's keep in mind, Texas got a large minority population that are registered for voting. I mean, large people of color, Black and brown. And the fact that he might operate like a Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema, and a John Fetterman should be very concerning for Texas. Now, folks be like, oh, Shante, you're from New York. But U.S. senators, including whoever gets in, either it's Jasmine Crockett or James Tallarico, is not only representing their constituents, they're representing the whole entire 350 million Americans in the United States of America. So their decisions, whether they vote yay or nay, impacts the whole entire country. So if folks got a problem with my take on your guy operating almost like a Fetterman or Sinema or Manchin, y'all can keep your fucking comments to yourself because I said what I said.
So that's what her supporters are talking like. That's what they had to say. Shout out to Rahaya, who says Houston is massive. Geographically, the damn city is about the size of a state. And I'm going to be honest with you, you are not lying, because when I used to live in California, my sister, she was staying in Texas before I was. She was staying in Houston before I was. And we used to drive from California to Texas, the 22.5-hour drive, right? It takes 12 hours to get to Texas from California. And then the remaining time is to get over to Houston once you're in Texas. So Texas is massive. It is a massive plot of land. It is a massive state. But Houston is a massive ass city. Hell, you got North Houston, South Houston, West Houston, East Houston. And all of these places are not close together. It takes a while to get from South Houston to North Houston, and from North Houston to West Houston, and from West Houston to East Houston. It is a huge goddamn city. So shout out for that comment, family. You are absolutely correct. Let me go here because, like I said, family, they love to say how Jasmine Crockett would be the first Black senator. And the only person I never hear Jasmine Crockett mention when you talk about people who have served the American people, more specifically foundational Black Americans, is Barbara Jordan. Is Barbara Jordan, who is actually the first Black woman elected to the Senate. Barbara Jordan, 1936 to 1996, was a pioneer American I was going to say politician, but she's the only politician. American politician, educator, and civil rights leader who made history as the first foundational Black American elected to Texas Senate in 1960 since Reconstruction. A Democrat from Houston, she served in the Texas Senate from 1967 to 1972 before becoming the first Southern Black woman elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. Yeah, we're not going to leave Barbara Jordan out of this. Yeah, we're not going to do that. And like I said, when you look behind this woman, you see a Shirley Chisholm. She reveres Shirley Chisholm, looking like a Picasso painting. She sits next to Shirley Chisholm. She created her own little picture that's supposed to mimic Shirley Chisholm. Oh, yeah. But it's the great Barbara Jordan who really held it down for foundational Black Americans around town. She was down for the get down. And I ain't never hear not just those people, but God dang it, Jasmine Crockpot more specifically mention her name, let alone mention her report. But like I said, family, their messaging has put them in a place where they're in a world of hurt. And Jasmine Crockett, even though she is in a world of hurt, somebody put it in the comment section in the words of Michael Jackson, "You are not alone. Your fellow Democrats with you." Let's go here. You guys heard about Katie Porter, who's running for governor out in California? This is her messaging as well. Oh, God dang. That just deleted my whole video. Well, I had a video where she was up there basically holding a sign that says F Donald Trump. And she had everybody in the audience say, on the count of 3, I want everybody to say this with me. 1, 2, 3. And she had everybody yell F Donald Trump. That is the crux of her message for the most part. I do have another video clip here of her. It's just not the first clip that I wanted to show you. Let me give a certified B1 salute to our good brother, Zavon Scott. Happy birthday to you, my good brother. I hope you have many, many more and many, many more to come. Now let's go over here and check out Katie Porter.
Is there a concern of yours that there are so many Democrats in this race that they will split the vote and we end up with 2 Republicans in the general election?
At this point, 2 Republicans is a real risk. It's not a certainty. It's a choice we need to make. We should not take that risk. A Republican governor would be devastating for California. There are 2 strong Republican candidates, so they're dividing their vote share by 2. So I think it's important for everybody who wants to run for governor to have a chance to come in and to campaign. But if your campaign isn't viable, you're not going to be able to go toe-to-toe and beat those Republicans and beat Donald Trump, then I think it's time to make the right choice for California, because that.
Now, let me say something about what she just said before she moves on, because as you see, like I said, this is all about a fear tactic. It's all about voting against Donald Trump. She said that if California elects a Republican governor, that it would be devastating for California. What she's really saying is if California elects a Republican governor, it would be devastating for the Democrats in California, because all of their policies that they're getting done in California, then that that Republican governor would be able to veto whatever the hell he wanted. So the Democrats' agenda wouldn't be able to get pushed as much as they wanted to. Your mayors like Karen Bass would have to answer to the governor. Right now, her and goddamn Gavin Newsom have this love affair of protecting immigrants. If a Republican governor got in, then Karen Bass would have to rethink her stance on what's going on in her state. Because at any given time, that governor has the power to send out the National Guard, has the power of the veto, the pen, can write executive orders. Hell, with one stroke of the pen, California sanctuary city status could go away. So when she says if they vote in a Republican governor, this is what she means. It would not devastate California. It would devastate the Democratic Party within California. Because remember, the Democratic Party has, just like Texas, redrew their lines, their district lines, in order to combat the 5 seats that Texas just gave to the Republicans. So they're trying their hardest to keep their agenda together. So when she says if California elects a Republican governor, that would be devastating for California. No, she means it'll be devastating for California Democrats. But she's not the only one. Like I said, y'all heard of Juliana Stratton? Well, if you haven't, here she go.
Well, let me talk directly to the voters tonight. These are urgent times, and I can tell you that I'm hearing it everywhere. People are fed up with what's happening in Washington. And if you're happy with what's happening in Washington right now, if you're okay with what's happening with Congress, then maybe I am not your candidate. But if you're looking for a bold leader, if you're looking for a courageous leader, if you want somebody who's going to fight for you every single day and get things done like we've done in Illinois, then please, I ask for your vote. Thank you. Well, let me talk directly.
Now, this woman is the lieutenant governor of Illinois. The woman is lieutenant governor of Illinois. And she's running for office. Look at Illinois. That's all I got to say. Look at Illinois. Look at what's happening in Chicago. And you hear everything that she's really saying. Notice how she said she hears that people are fed up with what's going on in the White House, but she don't hear all the people that's fed up with what's going on in Chicago. She don't hear all the people that's fed up with all the stuff that's going on the street level when it comes to these illegals. Let's go here, family. Like I said, these people aren't giving people anything to vote for, only to vote against.
Well, first of all, let me make it clear that everyone is expecting that ICE gets reined in, and I want to see ICE be abolished. I do not believe that this agency can be reformed, and we've seen the terror it has inflicted upon all of our communities. At the very least, when we talk about what kind of demands that Democrats should be making, and I believe Democrats should hold the line on this, we should, number one, make sure that ICE and CBP is out of our American cities where they've invaded and occupied. Number two, we need to make sure that there's no immunity, that any of the federal agents that have committed any crime are investigated and prosecuted. And that is at the very least, and I would not give my vote to an agency that I want to fund an agency I want to see abolished. I do want to make it clear that when it comes to standing up for ICE, Congressman Krishnamurthy has accepted money he voted to fund ICE, he voted to thank ICE, and accepted money from an ICE contractor. I'm going to be someone that stands up and fights for the people. Well, first of all, let me make it clear that everyone is. This ad really, as I just said, it captures exactly what people are feeling right now. They feel like, look at Washington. People aren't happy with what's happening in Congress. They're wondering why nothing is changing in their lives. Everything is getting more expensive. And here they are wondering, when are we going to stand up and not let this president just get away with what he's doing? So this is the energy that I'm feeling in the streets. And I think the ad pretty much captured it well. What quickly a follow up to that? What happened to when they go low, we go high? Well, we're not talking about a normal president. We're not even talking about a normal person. Donald Trump is a wannabe dictator who stomps on the Constitution, overlooks the rule of law, and every single day, whether it's what we're seeing in our communities with ICE, wants to make the presence of the military normalized on American soil against American citizens. I'm not going to stand for it. I'm going to fight back.
All right, family. And like I said, these people, they refuse to see the light. They refuse to talk about things that matter. They're not talking about policies. They're not talking about anything in this election. They're saying the same damn stuff, just different people. She said nothing, she hasn't said anything different than Jasmine Crockpot. Katie Porter didn't say anything different from Jasmine Crockpot. These folks are all using the same talking points. And it's not going well for them. Let's go here, family, because, oh, Jesus Christ. Summer Lee, let her get all her little nonsense off too.
But as long as we ignore history, as long as we ignore those flaws, we are continuing to equip this authoritarian regime with the very tools that it needs for our destruction. This administration is showing us exactly who they think America should be for. They've already detained and deported American citizens. We've seen literal children be used as bait and pulled from schools. We're seeing a hyper focus on American cities with communities of color. Their focus is to make an America that reflects them, their values, their desires. And we need to be very clear about that. But we also need to fight back, and we need to have the exact same energy that they have right now in our destruction for building what we actually believe is a better world, a better society, an America that reflects us and our values and the best that we could possibly have to offer it. And we have so much to offer it, which means that we have so much to fight for right now. And we know that we can't nip racism in the bud. If we don't address it, it will grow and it will eventually hurt each and every one of us. I've always said that the power of the people is greater than the people in power, and they know that, and that's why they lie, and that's why they use fear as a governing tool. It's why they are arresting legal observers. They're arresting journalists. They know that when the people see the truth, they will take to the streets. And none of us are safe until each and every one of us is safe. So yes, it is your problem. It is your fight. Even if this is the place that you've called home for generations, this is still your problem and your America that we must fight for. None of us are free until all of us are free. So
Did you take a stupid pill with your breakfast this morning, Admiral?
Nigga, Nigga, please.
We? We.
Speak for yourself, Summer. This is not our issue, and y'all keep trying to make it our issue. All that does is garner more people over to our side. Every time you tell a foundational Black American that this affects all of us, no matter how long your family has been here, you make that foundational Black American cringe even harder. But if this is what your messaging is, oh, I don't think that the Democrats need to worry about 2026. They should be, oh, yeah, they probably should start looking 50 more years down the line if this is what your whole messaging is for the party.
have to dismantle the tools that enable this. We have to pass the melt ice and abolish ICE. The cost of inaction is too high. But I have faith that with movements like these, we can make the change that we deserve. We can make an America that is worth living in and fighting for, and we can beat back against the fear that they've used for so long to disable us. So I thank you all so much for being with us. I thank you for the energy that you are bringing to this, that you will continue to bring with this. And with that, I will pass it off.
We? We.
Fuck him, goddammit, and fuck anybody with his ass. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, these people, they're not seeing the light. They don't see what their constituents want as something they need to bring. They don't see what we're telling them as something to be fact. So now what they're seeing is a drop. Is a drop. And family, the cold part is, even when they get into office, they quite literally ignore their constituents and talk shit to their constituents as if their vote wasn't what got them in. Zohran Mamdani has been doing a horrible job as mayor thus far. And people have been calling him out because of the fact that there haven't been any snow removals, the trash has been piling up, and all kind of nonsense. All right. Instead of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez coming out and saying, hey, I understand that you guys are frustrated, but things take time, this, that, and the third. No, she went out and belittled her constituents for Mamdani. Oh yeah, let's go here.
You know, I've seen one or two questions about people complaining that the snow is still here from the last storm.
And yes, family, she lost her voice. It's probably because of all the screaming she's been doing for illegals. But let's get it in.
You know, I've seen one or two questions about people complaining that the snow is still here from the last storm. And like, what are people going to do about it? And I'm starting to wonder how many of you know how snow works and know about like at what temperature snow melts. And at this point, I might be calling Zohran, telling him not to close schools on Monday because we got to be open in the schools, you guys. Snow does not melt at 20 degrees. Okay, like I need us to get it together. I know it's bad that more's building up, but please know that this is nature. You know, I've seen one or two questions.
These people talk to their constituents like they're a bunch of dumbasses. Hey, Alexandria, people know that snow doesn't melt in 20 degrees, you dumbass. They're complaining because it is not being removed. And people still need to walk the streets. People still need to drive the streets. The snow is not being plowed. In the very same way that the trash is not being taken. These people have a right to complain. And instead of coming out and making them feel better by, you know, letting them know, hey, we're working diligently to make sure that we can get these things taken care of. We understand that you guys are all frustrated. And I've been talking with Mamdani all week, and we're trying our hardest to make sure that we can get things plowed and we can get this trash taken care of. I ask that you guys be a little bit more patient with us. We know that it's tough. We know that's what a representative does. Why in the hell do I sound more like a representative than somebody who's actually in the House of Representatives? Why do I have the common sense that the Most High gave me to speak to people with respect about a concern that they're having in the city, and you don't even have the goddamn good sense that the Most High gave you to open the door? I'm pretty sure whenever you open the door, you hit yourself in the face. And this is the woman that people say would make a great president? This is a woman that people say that the Democratic Party should be pushing. A woman that can't even be politically correct when it comes to speaking to people in her constituency. Really? Yeah, family, like I said, everybody's doing bad. They're doing bad on all ends. Talking to their base, getting their base mobilized, every damn thing they're doing bad on. And I don't feel no type of way about it. I'm happy. You deserve it. You deserve it. We need more people calling these folks out. We need more people calling them out at every level. I came across this next clip of this woman who's running for the House of Republicans as well. The House of Representatives as well. A woman by the name, hold on, let me pull this down for a hot second because I gotta. There we go. All right. A woman by the name of Annabelle Mendoza. She had a few things to say to the people who was also running in the room.
I'll never take a single penny from corporate PACs or APACs, not now, not ever. But I want to be very clear that there are candidates up here who are bought and sold. Melissa Conyers-Urban is one of them. And I'll tell you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey, Melissa, did you just get called out for taking PAC money? Look at her. She's quite surprised and shocked. Isn't she? The look on her face is like, did that bitch just throw me under the bus? Yes. Yes, she did. In your face. In your face. Like, she didn't wait until you went home. She didn't go home. She didn't wait until, god dang it, she got on the interview with a different. No, she's right there in your face. Calling you a bought and paid for bootleg. God dang it. That's so sweet. Let's run it back.
I'll never take a single penny from corporate PACs or APACs, not now, not ever. But I want to be very clear that there are candidates up here who are bought and sold. Melissa Conyers-Urban is one of them. And I'll tell you right now, Melissa, you should resign from your post because you have been a horrible city treasurer. And on top of that, you also take APAC money, and you are not here to represent the interests of the people that are right before you. In addition to that, Jason Freeman didn't have the courage to show up. Guess what? He's getting APAC aligned money as well. And, you know, Anthony, I really like you, but I also know Michael and Kerry Sachs gave you $7,000, and they are some of APAC's biggest donors. So I want to know if you're going to return that money.
I'll get Jeffrey.
Okay.
That woman went in there real quick and real swift and just called out everybody taking APAC money. Everybody. And I don't like the fact that it's Mendoza who's sitting there basically calling out all the black folks there, but god dang it, if these black folks are the same black folks that are not doing anything for our community, why have them there? Exactly. Sazone on their ass. And she went in and sprinkle-inkle. Sprinkle-inkle. She did the whole Salt Bay off of her goddamn elbow. Shout out to our good brother Christopher Ellis in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, my brother. He said she called her out like, I said it, now do something. Oh, and called her a horrible treasurer. You need to resign. Let me tell you that right now. And the cold part is she will get a bunch of people who are willing to vote for her just because she called them out for taking APAC money. She's not under any illusions about where she's trying to get. But when it comes to these people, oh, they're all under all kinds of illusions. They're all under some kind of god dang delusion, to be honest with you. I want to go here because these folks really think that Texas is about to flip blue. Let's go here.
I get it. We're gonna flip this state. Somebody get some cameras on Cabot. Let me tell you why this Texas Senate seat is such a big deal. So Tarrant County is red. It is a bright red. And District 9, that Taylor Rebbitt won, went to Trump for 17 points in 2024. Not only did Taylor Rebbitt win, he won by over 14 points. I didn't even think he would win. Like, that seat has not had a Democrat since the 90s. Oh my God, I'm definitely calling my bestie Greg on Monday so we can celebrate together. And this happened because people showed up to vote. There was a huge push for that. So I need you all to register to vote, especially for the primary on March 3rd. If you want to vote in the primary on March 3rd to determine what Democratic candidate is going to run against the Republican for governor, for the Senate, for the congressional district, all of that, you need to show up on March 3rd and you need to register to vote by this upcoming Monday on February 2nd, okay? If you want more information on that, you can go to my page or go to votetexas.gov. Early voting is February 17th through February 27th. Please early vote, okay? It makes it easier. You have more time, super chill, and you can vote wherever you want. Because on March 3rd, you have to go to one particular place if you are in Dallas and Williamson County, okay? We can flip this state blue in November. You just have to vote, okay? This should tell you all you need to know. And major shout out to Taylor for running a really great campaign. Congratulations.
So, as you saw, this delusional woman here believes that the state is going to be flipped. In order to flip Texas blue, you're going to need foundational Black Americans to back you. And honestly, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the support beyond the regular tethers, beyond the regular academics, beyond the regular people who already was voting blue in the first damn place. I just haven't seen it. But if it does flip, that'll be an incredible feat, I guess you could say, for your party, right? Like I said, this man here is still a white Nabisco. He's still a Nabisco that they voted for. Those folks ain't got no problem voting for the Nabisco. But Crockett, yeah, that might be a different scenario. That might be a different scenario. Family, before we get up out of here, I want to remind folk that these people do not give a damn about what we're saying. They're trying their hardest to push their rhetoric. And I want them to continue pushing their rhetoric, because the more you push your rhetoric, the more you get people who start sounding more and more like us. Let's go here.
And of course, we're not talking about the other aspects of the SAVE Act that go well beyond ID. And it goes to which is also part of Jim Crow, the history. And that is when it comes to registration.
This old fool sitting there with this old fool, this older fool, allowing this man to try and compare the SAVE Act to Jim Crow. But he don't have a problem with it because he said that it was also Jim Crow. All of a sudden, you got this old buffoon coon, Stephen from Django, James Clyburn, sitting with Massa, talking about how voter ID laws is Jim Crow South. Like I said, I want them to continue talking.
Part of Jim Crow, the history. And that is when it comes to registration, you got to find your birth certificate. If you know where yours is, I have no clue where mine is. Or you have to passport, and 2/3 African Americans don't even have passports. And of course, we're not talking about the other aspects.
Family, I'm going to end with this. I'm going to let the family, like I said, the more they talk like this, the more we get more and more people sounding like us. So let's let the sister cook, and then we're going to close out, family.
What's up, y'all? What y'all doing? At this point, Democrats, let it go. You're like a dog with a bone. This has nothing, and I mean nothing, to do with black people.
State IDs and real IDs as being a sufficient way to prove that you are a citizen so that you can vote. This is going to disenfranchise millions of voters. It'll be costly.
So, Peanut, you telling us that we can't afford an ID? Get your Mr. Clean looking ass up out of here. Shut the fuck up with that nonsense. $20? We can't afford that.
It'll be inconvenient. This will disenfranchise rural voters, military voters. This is Jim Crow, voter suppression, full stop.
I'm hallucinating, but people in the military got military IDs, right? Where am I tripping? Let's be fucking for real. Y'all do not care about voter ID. Y'all just care about that the illegal immigrants y'all protecting won't be able to vote to back y'all asses up. That's it. That's all. Democrats, y'all know the disgusting part about it. You using black people just to save y'all illegal immigrants. That's what all y'all do. Y'all want to use us like y'all use us every 4 years to get y'all ass into the White House. And then when you get your ass into the White House, you don't do shit for us. When I talk about us, I ain't talking about me because I never voted Democrat, never have and never will. I'm talking to all the stupid black people, they use it. Because you know they using y'all. They never offer you nothing. They never give you nothing but a promise and a slap in the face. Enjoy. Let me tell you something. Girl, what you need to do is get some armor on your head. It's looking kind of dull. Better yet, call up Jasmine Crockett or Maxine Waters and ask them for one of their stiff-ass wigs. When y'all say Jim Crow 2.0, all y'all trying to do is get black people riled up in their feelings to make it seem like Donald Trump is taking away somebody's right. And that's crock of crap. So take your bald-ass head and get the hell on. Ain't nobody falling for that shit no more, girl. Okay? And the moral of the story is, you make me want some M&Ms, the chocolate ones. Maybe the ones with peanuts in and almonds or something. But you make me want some M&Ms. Or almond joy. Just got a taste for almond joy right now. Mouth just watering.
Damn! Family, did the sister roast the hell out of her or what? She said, you make me want some M&Ms and almond joy. I don't know. I just got a taste for almond joy all of a sudden. Shout out to that sister. Shout out to that sister. Shout out to that sister. 100. Let me also give a B1 salute to our sister queen. Angelic in the building. Much love to you, as well as Donna B in the building. Much love to you. Thank you both for being here. Family, when I say that these people aren't doing themselves any favor by continuing to push these rhetorics, they're not. And I hope they continue to do so. But here's the harsh truth. Just like any other time, no matter what you say and no matter what you do, if you don't have foundational Black Americans backing you, then all of this is a moot point because you're not going to get there unless you're winning districts that are predominantly Hispanic and districts that are predominantly white. You're not going to win without us. And trust me when I say those districts that are predominantly white, they're not voting for you guys. And most of those Hispanics, they're not voting for you either. They might be crying about the deportations and everything else, but you got to remember, family, they were crying about the deportations before and turned around and voted for Trump once again. I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. So there's only one group of people, one block, that's worth courting. And until y'all realize that, once again, you're just gonna continue to lose and continue to look like a bunch of buffoons and a bunch of idiots. And for people like Jasmine Crockett, you're gonna look like a buffoon, a bunch of idiots, and stupid in a bad wig. Picasso. But with that being said, family, if you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can pop, up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click the link in the description, go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I'd like to thank all of my mods, my members, everybody in the chat, all my patrons, everybody who's gifted, whether by Super Chat, Cash App, PayPal, or anywhere else. Much love to each and every one of you. Melvina Miles, much love to you for your prior PayPal donation. Your donation blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as well. Much love to each and every one of you, family. And until Wednesday, stay real safe. Stay real safe. We got some things to talk about on Wednesday, and then we're gonna have some more things to talk about on Thursday, to be honest with you. It won't be too much longer. I'm gonna do a short broadcast on Thursday. We got to talk about that little Haitian chick that went up in that goddamn podcast thinking that she was going to be disrespectful. Well, she actually was disrespectful, and nobody threw her rabbit ass up out of that room. I promise you that woman would have been leaving there with a missing goddamn hairpiece, because security, get this woman out of here. But that's what we'll talk about on Thursday, family. We're going to have to. Much love to each and every one of you. And until the next time, everybody keep your head on the swivel. Stay safe. For everybody who's caught up in those snowstorms, be very safe. Make sure you're running your water. You know, make sure that, you know, you try to stay as warm as possible. I know I'm being redundant by saying that, but I just want y'all to know that, damn it, we care about you. We want to make sure that y'all good. And trust me, when that snow start hitting crazy, I don't like the snow. So, you know, I definitely tell people all the time, be careful in the snow. So much love to each and every one of you. Be safe. And the doors of the church are now closed. Peace, family.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
I know that the government, whatever, can't stand us black people. He's doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Us black people going to survive. So fuck everybody. I'm out.